talking to you before we knew the Prime Minister was going to go. Your reaction to that breaking news in the last half hour?
Well, I think we're all grateful is probably the word, that he's finally accepted the reality of the situation and is going. But I think it will be a long time before the Conservative Party is forgiven for propping him up for so long. It's been clear to most of us in the country for some time that he just wasn't fit to be Prime Minister. And there will be a lot of anger. We certainly saw it in the recent by-elections on the doorsteps. Lifelong Conservative supporters are saying they were fed up, disgusted was the word some of them used, with the behaviour. And I think it'll be a long time before people forget that.
Let me just bring you some breaking news. A Labour leader, Sir Keir Starmer, has just issued a statement saying it was good news that Boris Johnson is resigning, but he said, his words, we don't need to change the Tory at the top. We need a proper change of government. Would you echo those words?
Oh, we do need change. This government has shown itself to be completely incompetent in just about every department. And I know that the Labour Party would want a general election, but, I think we do need change. And what we want to see is a government that will deal with the crises that we've got in front of us at the moment, that will address the cost of living crisis, that will do something about energy prices, which, with the winter ahead, would make it very difficult for many pensioners in this country to heat their homes. So, we do need a change of direction, and we need some stability in the country, and we need someone who will get on with providing that.
No, I agree we need stability, and I've had my concerns. I was calling for Boris Johnson to go for quite some months over integrity issues, but I think there are a lot of people listening to this and watching this on Talk TV and Talk Radio will say, when people talk about, integrity and issues like that, your party wanted to undermine a democratic vote. I'm never going to forget this, guys. I'm never letting this go. 2016, we had a vote, which you guys all said you'd accept, and you'd certainly have accepted the result if you'd won, saying that, we're going to have a vote and let the people decide on whether or not we leave the EU. Your party then spent the next 3 years trying to stop it from happening. And it wasn't until we got Boris Johnson elected with a Get Brexit Done mandate that we actually got Brexit done. Yeah, it's not perfect, not ideal.
But you know what, Julia? I would say that is one of the ways that he let the country down. I don't think Boris did get Brexit done.
He did get Brexit done. We're not in the EU.
Didn't, not effectively or efficiently. And he's left the country.
Well, who's that thanks to, Christine?
Well, I was government. I'm not the one who made a mess of the Northern Ireland Protocol. That was Boris Johnson.
That was Theresa May. That was Theresa May. Lord Frost went into those negotiations with his hands already tied.
So you're telling us now that Boris Johnson wasn't such a bad Prime Minister?
Oh, no, there are loads of things he's done, I think, really, really well that I'm really grateful for. We got Brexit done, vaccine deployment, handling, dealing with Ukraine and things like that, and the leadership there. I'm just saying that I find it a bit rich to have Labour, Keir Starmer's the same, Lib Dems, Labour, constantly talking about integrity and trust and all of that. You guys were happy to undermine a democratic vote. Now, as much as I don't like Boris Johnson's lies, I have to say, I think that not respecting a democratic vote is a bigger betrayal of the voters.
You cannot possibly compare saying that we wanted, at that time, saying that we wanted to give people, the final say on the deal, the deal which has turned out to be disastrous for this country.
It's not disastrous. There's no evidence for that.
Have you looked at the economy, Julia? Have you looked at Northern Ireland?
Do you think that might have anything to do with lockdown for 2 years?
Actually, I think it has a lot to do with Brexit. And if you ask businesses...
Hold on a minute. Why is the rest of Europe facing the same problems? Why is America? Any problem we've got...
Why is our economy the worst in Europe? Why are we only...
Why was it the fastest the year before when we'd still had Brexit?
Julia, you cannot pretend that Boris has done a good job. You cannot pretend that he has been anything but a disaster for this country and our economy. We've gone from having the fastest growing economy in the G7 to teetering on the brink of falling out of the G20, because the only one of the G20 whose economy is doing worse than ours are the Russians, and they're facing international sanctions. You cannot pretend for a moment that anything he has done has been good for our economy.
I don't think anything of that has got to do with Brexit and enacting a democratic vote. But just finally, Christine, in terms of who goes forward, you're not going to be facing the next general election a Tory leader in Boris Johnson. Who would you like to be seeing in number 10? I know you'd prefer it was Ed Davey or indeed yourself, but of the Tory choices available, who do you want to be leading the Tory party? Who would you like to come up against? Yeah, but who
That's
would you
not a
like to come
decision.
up against?
That's not a decision for me. That's a decision for the Conservative MPs.
Who would you prefer to come up against?
I hope they make a better choice this time than they did the last time.
And who would be a better choice?
You know, that's not for me to say. It's not for me to say. It's up to the Conservative voters, actually, and the members of the Conservative Party will have a say along with the MPs. That's up to them. They will choose their next leader, not me.
Christine Jardine, great to talk to you. Thank you very much, Liberal Democrat.